It's great to be here. It's great to kick off another season, our sixth season. Really looking forward to it. Again, I have been extremely pleased with this team in camp. I think for a team that has the youth it has, inexperience it has, at the same time has some experience, and those guys have really put their stamp on this team. But those young guys have taken advantage of opportunities. I'm very pleased at where we are in a depth situation as far as the quality of people. Not only we have talent-wise, but how I feel comfortable about now putting them in games. Been very pleased in a lot of different areas that way. This team has a great attitude. I think it's looking forward to a very successful season, but there's a lot of work to be done. We have to go out on the field and play and perform and do those kind of things. But from an attitude standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint, from a personality standpoint, very pleased with how camp went. Very physical, hard camp. Now really getting guys back healthy and look really comfortable going into game week. We don't have everybody quite healthy, but most of them we do. We're in a very good situation, in my opinion, and feel very comfortable going in this week. Texas State's a very tough opponent. Dennis Franchione's been around a long time. John Thompson on defense. We've been around, me and him winning at each other a bunch of times. Very multiple in the things he does. Dennis is a heck of a coach. They put a lot of problems as far as the spread, running options, spread, read zones. I mean, all the things, and they can still throw the football. Defense come in blitz in different packages. They're 3 down, they're 4 down. They're all standing up. They're moving around. They come in different angles, different things, and prevent a lot of problems. And they've done a great job with that program right now. You see getting guys drafted, also playing in the league. I mean, they've got a great football team. You got a bunch of good guys coming back, and they're going to come in and ready to play. So we're going to have to really play a good game, play our A game, and hopefully we can do the things we need to do and get better as a football team. Questions?
What are some of those guys you're looking at trying to get back health-wise? Who are some?
You know, getting Derek Kelly, they have given him a couple of days off. He feels really good getting back in there, getting Hofield, getting him back out there, which is very critical. I mean, that's a guy who's played center and done a lot of things there. Of course, we got Dalvin back out there from that other situation, getting our receivers back, getting Travis, he just had some nicks and knacks, he and Erman, getting those guys fully healthy. And they look really good, Bobo and all that group, and Javon getting Pig back out there, playing very well. On defense, we're pretty healthy in the secondary. Even though Nate's got that thumb, he's practicing good. It's not bothering him anymore. Those young guys are coming on there. Got Casher back, which was very critical, which was 2 weeks early. It's a surprise, and he's playing really well. So getting that big body back, that athleticism, that's just quite a few guys off the top of my head right there. And I think Tavares McFadden's supposed to be back in practice today too, who was having a tremendous camp.
Jimbo, have you made a decision at quarterback and are just waiting, or are they still competing?
They'll know. We'll know here very soon. I've got a good idea which way we're going with things, and I'll talk to them and talk to our team, and then I'll let y'all know very quickly.
Like in the next 10, 15 minutes? Just kidding. Sorry about
Wait a minute. No, you hear that noise? You hear that noise? That's me in the next 10 or 15 minutes. No, not in the next 10 or 15 minutes. And if I knew right now, I would, and I'll be honest with you, y'all, I would tell our team before I told y'all. I would want them to hear it from me, not from coming across a ticker.
So that means that the team, you haven't told anybody. Was it close?
He's persistent, isn't
he? Trying to get you to trip up. Was it close throughout camp?
Yes, very. I mean, it's not a bad. I mean, just like I said with the one with Winston and Coker, who everybody said, once Jameis took off, but they both played tremendously well. These guys have both had their moments and shined, and then the things and their strengths that they normally do, and then have really improved in a lot of their weakness there. That I not perceived weakness, but things they didn't do as well. I really feel comfortable with either guy playing. I really do. I mean, I think both guys are really good football players, and that's a good thing.
What have you seen from Everett in terms of growing from the past?
I think just first of all, it's comfort level of how we practice, the way we do things, and the demand that we put on our quarterbacks and the expectations we put on them. From just the way you go about your business, daily, from whether it's individual to team to meetings, all those things. I've seen boy just grow and grow and grow his knowledge of the game. Of course, his knowledge of what we're trying to do, but then his performance on the field. It's just become more consistent. The more times you do it, the more times you see it, the better you get at it, and he's doing that.
When you see his comfort level kind of getting there, what does that do? I guess can you elaborate on
It makes me comfortable. It makes me a heck of a lot more comfortable. Because, you say as a coach, what you know doesn't matter. It's what you can get them to know. And what you can get them to understand from you about what you want when you call something, when you do something, when this situation's here, when that situation's here, to be an extension of you. You know what I mean? And that comfort level does come because of, every call you make, all right, what am I doing here? In any call and ball, it could be a guard, a tackle, a tight end, a receiver, a running back, a quarterback, usually putting a stress point somewhere on your football team. Somebody has to really step up. That's just the way the game is. And, if you have to do that constantly with your quarterback, it's a very tough game to call. And with Sean, I don't feel that way. And with Everett now, with his knowledge and what he's doing, being consistent, I don't feel that way at all either. So that allows me to be more free in how we're going to do things.
And when he's more free, are you able to see like it seems like athleticism?
Oh, yeah. Then you start to see the athletic ability come out. I say you never can see what a guy's capable of till he totally understands what to do, and how to do it so he can play fast. Knowledge allows you to be fast. It's not that you can be the fastest guy in the world. If you don't know what to do, you play the slowest. You hear it all the time. But as their knowledge grows, it allows their true athletic ability and instincts to really take over.
Jimbo, with who
Good
you
question.
had the last 2 years at quarterback,
Mhm.
and these two guys that didn't have a lot of experience in your system in games, did you have to change your approach with the way you handled these two quarterbacks?
A little bit because of what their skill level is. But I had to change from EJ to Jameis. You know what I'm saying? Each guy, and you go back to the history of the guys, each guy has been different. What makes him tick, the way he looks at the game, what he sees, what he's capable of learning, the way he sees it. I think one of the most important things as a coach, you have to see how he's got to see like you see, but you also got to see how he sees. It can't be a one-way street. And there's got to be a bind there and a bond and a relationship that you can understand so you know how to coach the guy. And you coach them all differently.
And you knew, obviously you knew going into this fall camp, all right, things are going to be a little different without
Oh, no doubt. And the skill set and the things we're going to do and feature, but we'll keep a lot of the same things. But how we call it, the way we do it, the technique we do it with may be different, whatever it may be.
How has Sean handled the quarterback competition this year as opposed to years past?
I think he's really ramped it up this year because I think he felt like he was the guy. You know what I'm saying? And I've been very pleased with his camp, his attitude and everything, and his work ethic. He really has. Not. You see that it's like your redshirt junior year. You know what I'm saying? You start to see that redshirt junior, redshirt senior years. You know what I'm saying? Just like Peter Tom did back in the day, Chip, and you go back to the history of Florida State quarterbacks. None of them ever played. They were juniors anyway. You know what I mean? And that maturity level, I think you see it in all your players when they hit that redshirt junior level or just junior level. They know it. They've got it all figured out a little bit. It's kind of the things that matter. That really don't matter, you kind of learn to block out and you just focus and become such a better player. And I've seen that out of him.
In general, when you're evaluating quarterbacks, how much do you take into account the other players on the roster and the experience at other positions? Does that make a difference?
Yes. Because it's not about the quarterback. It's about how the quarterback lets the other 10 guys function and play. And the ability to – because at the end of the day, what's your job as a quarterback? Move the ball down the field, score points, don't turn it over. Make good decisions, be accurate with the ball. Put it in a nutshell, that's what it's about. And if you could run down the field by yourself, that'd be great. But those other 10 guys, what their skill level is, what you do in relationship to them, you know what I'm saying, is very critical.
With that, piggybacking off of that, the importance of the offensive line this year, and how do you feel that they're coming along?
Really good. The thing I said this the other day in practice, and it's camp, and I kind of was biting my tongue, and biting my lip a little bit, as not wanting to say it, but their communication, identifying fronts, picking up. We brought every blitz known to man. How we pick up blitzes, they're in the quarterbacks and the receivers getting the balls out, whether it's hot sights, blocking it, whatever it may be, making all those adjustments. And to me, that's a very big sign of where your offensive line is, because that's where all the stress comes in those situations. And we put them under some unbelievably stressful situations on purpose to do that. And then their continuity and then their size and athleticism. I've said this before, I think we're probably more athletic than we've ever been.
In terms of just dealing with the first game and just the young people on both sides of the ball, how confident are you that they are ready just for the first game in the break?
Oh, I feel very confident. I think now that what they have to realize is not be ready today. Get ready on Saturday and make sure they spend enough time preparing. Because we always say, you always hear LaMarcus Joyner say it all the time, and we preached it, the power of preparation. It's fun to go do something when you're prepared, you know what's going to happen. And you know, which allows you to play fast like you were talking about. And I think that's going to be the key, but I think so far it's been tremendous.
With Joshua's recovery, what were some things that you said to him, his family, and his coaches.
I can't believe this. Wow, how's he coming? How's this happening? I joke about that, but it was. I mean, there wasn't nothing to say. I mean, you're going, how in the hell? I mean, you know, you're waiting for this, and all of a sudden, all right, you put him in the drill. We can do a little bit. Okay. Okay, how you feel? I'm fine, coach. Ain't swelling? No, coach. Ain't swelling? No, coach. Well, that's next. Let's do a little more. All right, how's that feel? Good, coach. Good, coach. And you're going, wow. I mean, just he healed. I mean, he heals, and he's worked hard. And I think the big thing for him, it's not just healing, but then taking it to the field in your mind, allowing yourself to, you know, the first time you got cut, the first time you fell in a pile, the first time somebody fell in your legs and you looked up and, you go, oh, it's okay. Now, those are things I think he's really gotten through in the camp that's made me very pleased. But the thing about him, the amazing thing is, to me, of all the things I've told us, is his eagerness to do it. Because some guys become, it's the injuries, those major injuries like that are much more mental than they are physical. You know what I'm saying? And trusting things and being able to put yourself in that situation and go ahead and go for it again. You know what I'm saying? And where you're vulnerable out there. And he's been very, very, very willing to do that. And it takes courage. That's a courageous young man.
What was the message like to those people close to him about how his recovery was going to happen here?
Well, we said we're going to do what we think is right for Joe. If he plays this year, we want him to play. But if he doesn't, we're not going to jeopardize in any way, shape, or form his future or his health, and we would any of our players. You know, if he could never play again, I don't care. That was a risk. That was a major injury when we took him. But I said we would never do anything jeopardize. I said if it was, I'd treat him just like I would one of my two boys. And that's how we would go about it and get him the best possible rehab, care, doctors, and everything that we could do. And if he was ready to play, we'd put him out there. And to trust us if we felt that, but I would never, ever do that. Otherwise.
When he committed to you, did you think there's any chance you'd be ready for week 1 this year?
No, I didn't go into it with that. I went to it with the big picture vision of that eventually he would be ready and what he was and what he could be, you know. And if he didn't, he was going. But the thing about him, you don't realize how good a kid he is. I say kid, but I mean a young man, and how smart. You know, I mean, very good student, those types of things, and just want him in our program. That was a big thing we wanted, and I want him because of the person he was.
How do you feel about your receivers? You said they kind of struggled that.
I've been very pleased. I just said the blitzes, the sights, the hots, the routes, and as we're getting health back and consistency, I've been extremely pleased this last 6-7 days. After a couple tough ones, I've been very pleased. They have responded in a very good manner.
What concerns you the most about Texas State?
I think their versatility and the experience they have in the coaching staff, and I said they're very diverse on offense, they're very diverse on defense. They present a lot of different problems. They're aggressive. They're very well coached. And they've got good players. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but that's a fact. I mean, this is a good program.
Coach, with Alvin missing more than half the camp, do you plan to limit him some Saturday?
No, he's been full go. His health and the way he's come back and his body, and he kept himself in tremendous condition. No, not one bit.
Tom DiAngelo, you want to go first?
Yeah, never mind. Tom DiAngelo's going to.
Tom, you ever ruled Corey? You just took over his question. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Sorry, buddy.
Hey, Jimbo, talk about you've been up and down with your evaluation of the receivers. Where are they right now, and what are you seeing lately?
The last week I've been extremely pleased, Tom. I really have. We're getting guys healthy again, and the consistency and getting them in the rights. Because sometimes we had other. Part of it was we were moving them around to different scenarios and different positions when other guys got injured. Some of those young guys, and we were getting too much work on guys and moving them in position, so it was hard to be consistent. But now we've gotten everybody getting their health back and getting them into exactly where they want to play. The last 5, 6, 7 practices, I've been extremely pleased.
Specifically, Travis Rudolph, has he shown up?
Yes, he has. He has, and he's getting healthy. His legs, and he was had a little IT band that was bothering him, but he's healthy from that right now, and his diversity has been really good.
When you made your decision on your quarterback, you talked about the other 10 guys. How much of a difference was there with their interaction with the receiver and the offensive line? I mean, the guy you picked, is there a big difference between how the receivers and offensive line respond to him?
No, I don't think as far as personality-wise, but I think skill sets are a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the other thing which allows us to move the ball just, where we are right now as an offense.
Okay. Thanks, Jimbo.
Thank you.
Matt, you want to go ahead?
Hey, Jimbo. Back to Josh Sweat. What are realistic expectations for him this week and in the early couple games? Because obviously he is working back from a major deal.
He is, but he's practiced. He went through the full camp. But, I mean, again, it's going to be his first time he ever walks on the field in a major college football game. You know what I mean? So, I mean, a guy like him, I mean, he could go out there and have a few plays and just kind of get his feet wet and fit into special teams and those types of things. But he'll have an opportunity to play on defense. He's in our rotation right now, and we'll have to wait and see. Or he may be one of those guys when those lights come on. He's kind of been that way his whole life. It just takes off and you see him go. So I'm as anxious to see it as you are.
And where do you, or how do you evaluate where you think the pass rush is as a whole right now?
I've been very pleased. We've put excellent pressure on the passer in camp, and not because I think the O-line has been bad, but even with different blitz packages, but 3-man rush, 4-man rush, all the different things that we've been able to do, I've been pleased with where they're at right now. And when we get Lorenzo Featherston back, it's even going to be greater.
Corey.
Yes, I was just wanted to ask how Dalvin has looked in the last week. Does he have that?
Yes, he does.
burst that-
He's got that burst. And I tell you what's rare, which I was worried about, just the feel to run the holes. You know what I mean? Not be over anxious. I mean, a great back, you only see the speed when speed's needed. Most backs, great backs, are tempo runners. They know how to take the handoff, when to kind of, it's a half speed, it's a 3/4 speed in the backfield. Then it's hit that, you know what I mean? Just to feel the blocks and see what's happening around. And sometimes that just takes reps and practice to get, as they say, get back in the groove. But he's kind of did it from the moment he walked out there. I mean, he just has a natural tempo and feel to run the football. And that was what I was worried about. Wasn't worried about the speed or the burst of conditioning, but just getting back into playing. But it's looked extremely well.
So you weren't worried at all about the conditioning? Did you know what he was doing?
He told us what he was doing and what he does. And when you looked at him, you could see it. But he's always been a guy, when he's told me things, they've been truthful. You know what I'm saying? So I don't doubt any of that.
As far as the secondary, kind of how's that group shaping up? What do you think?
Wow, I think we've done it. It's much tougher. And I've been playing with the receivers, but our coverage skills and what we've been able to do to lock down the versatility and the multiplicity of guys we can move in different positions to create matchups, I've been very pleased. And when those young corners, McFadden, as he gets back today, and Marcus Lewis, I'm very, I like both of those guys. In time, I think, it brings a lot to us. And I've been very pleased with the secondary, I really have.
Jimbo, with Golston only being here 2-3 months, is he about where you thought he would be in this process, or did you have any idea?
I didn't put an expectation on him. I really didn't, because I didn't know him as far as how to. You don't ever know a guy till you coach a guy. I don't care what they say. What's that guy look like on TV? I don't know. I mean, already I know he messed up, but why did he mess up? Or I know he did good. Why did he do good? You know what I'm saying? I think we get so caught up in. You don't ever know a guy till you coach a guy. And from coaching him, I've been very pleased. He's done a great job responding to how we do things, the way we do things, and I'm happy where he's at right now.
Coach, while from year 1 to year 2, he said he wanted to do more with less as far as practice goes. What have you seen from year 2 to now?
I just hope he stays the same consistency. He can do more or less up and down now, but same Roberto. I mean, leg strength is there, the accuracy's there, the consistency's there. I think his kickoffs are even stronger to me right now. Seem to be.
As a coach, is it difficult to gauge just how far along the offense is versus defense? You're just watching them go against each other. Can you kind of get a barometer of what you think they're going to do come Saturday?
I wish I knew. Every Saturday. You sleep better all week. But I joke about you don't ever know. I mean, it's guys until they get out there. But I just know that both sides have worked extremely hard. Both have had their moments where one's better than the other and had their days, which I like because I like to see the other guys, respond to adversity, and that's part of playing. And so from that standpoint, I think I'm comfortable where we're at. I'm anxious to see us play.
Do you feel the offense has developed an identity over preseason?
I really do. I think it's a big, strong, athletic group up front. But it's in its size, you get caught up, but they're so athletic. You know what I'm saying? So you can do a lot of things. I think our skill guys are versatile. I think we can do a multitude of things with how we play, and we can throw it. So, I think that it's going to create some fun in watching these guys develop into their roles.
Jimbo, the quarterback competition hasn't been so close, like you said. Will either guy have a short leash or?
No, I'm not going to short leash anybody. I couldn't. When I played, I didn't want to sit and look over my shoulder and know every mistake I made. I got yanked out. I don't coach that way. But at the end, I'll put the guys in the game that I think will win the football game. If I see there's something that needs to be done, but you can't play like that. You can't coach like that. You can't play like that. You can't write like that. If you wrote one bad word, one bad article, it's hard to function like that. You know what I'm saying? And I have a supreme confidence in it, and it takes time.
But what tangible signs have you seen out of the pass rusher? It really wasn't up to standard probably last year, but what are you seeing in practice?
I think the transition from run to pass. What I'm saying is read the run pass keys a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? And that comes with experience and transitioning into the, you're playing the run on early down, it's hard play action, which is, and then you see, oh, it's passed, now I transition. That's much harder than people ever dream of and how you do things. And the first thing you got to do is stop the run. You got to be able to play the run, I think, on early downs. Now, if you're getting third and long and all that, that's a whole different animal. And I think that was a big thing, once we did that. And then our guys this year, I think we got more body types that are conducive to doing that, moving guys around in some of our nickel packages and things to create better rush guys inside too.
Was that something in the offseason, looking at film last?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That run pass thing?
It was, and body type and experience, and yes, body types too can be a big difference too. Can be a huge difference. But that's you go through those years.
Along those lines, Jacob Hughes and that.
Yes, very good. Jacob's played well. Physical, plays the run really well, but he can lay his ears back and get there, and that's hopefully he can do that, and he can stand up and cover. I mean, Jacob's a very versatile player, very versatile player.
Coach, this will be the third year the opposing team has also agreed to wear his first fun.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about what that means to you?
Well, I just think I can't thank him enough. They do not have to do that. Dennis has always been. I mean, he's a class guy, great guy. I thank them for that, and like I say, and anytime we can, again, that happens to be our charity, but anytime we can help any childhood charities or any charities at all, we want to be that way. And I think as athletes, you find out, I think you can have a huge impact because of the large window in which you're seen. And I think for them to do that, it's a tremendous gesture, and I thank them so much for that.
Have you had any other programs come to you guys and ask you to do like the same situation? Or?
Yeah, I don't know if we have. I want to say there's one, but don't hold me to it, that have said that to us. But I would very willingly do it, whatever it is.
Jimbo, going into your sixth opener as a head coach, any change from the previous 5 as far as how you approach it or look at it?
No, I mean, not from a philosophical standpoint. I mean, you try to learn from mistakes in the past, look at things, I think as a head coach, the thing that's important is try to see where the game's going. I think you got to be careful because you don't want to, the hard thing to do, you've had success, got a lot of success. All right, you want to keep things status quo. But at the same time, if you sit and do that, people can pass you by. I think you got to judge where your team's at, where the game of football is going. And so whether it's training, whether it's nutrition, whether it's mental health, whether it's dealing with all the things that go into it that sometimes people just don't see. And those constantly make change, but we do every year. And I think even in our X and O's, we're constantly making changes in the things we do because if you're willing, you don't have to be sick to get better. And you got to keep pushing that envelope and knowing the difference and it's tough because you say, well, all right, I'm going to change all this. And you go, wait a minute, that's been pretty good here for quite a few years, but you got to be willing to push that envelope, and to me, that's what it is, and be able to make adjustments on the run.
Jimbo, when Mark took the Kentucky job, I remember you saying that until you're in the head coach's seat, you don't really know what it's like to be a head coach. What did you not know in 2010?
I guess probably a lot, but I just think the finalization of decisions. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing. And how many hats you really, really had to wear throughout a season or throughout a year. In other words, people say, well, you speak and boot, but there's so many other little things daily that you deal with from even, from dealing with office personnel, from dealing with administration personnel, with dealing with team issues, from dealing with school issues. There's just, it's an endless, and what's funny, after 5 years, they keep bringing new hats. You know what I mean? There's still a new hat or two every time you say, wait a minute, I never had to do this before. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the nature of the position and nature of the beast. I think you have to be very open, very open-minded, and aware of a lot of things in this world to coach today because of the multiplicity of things that go on. And our kids, and because of social media and the things, it gets there quicker. They all know about it. You know what I'm saying? I think you have to stay in tune to a lot of things.
Jimbo, in the day-to-day practices, when we videotape you after practice, sometimes the fans will try to read if you're in a good mood or bad mood.
Don't do that. that could have to do with it 5 minutes, or he might have made me mad walking over there. Huh? He might have made me. I might have had the best practice in the world, and he'll come out. He says some dumb things sometimes. You know that? He does say some dumb things sometimes. No, don't get into all that.
But so sometimes I think they think you're concerned, but you seem pretty confident and upbeat going into this.
I am confident. I like this team. I like the talent of this team. Again, it's nowhere where it's going to be, but it's got me extremely excited to coach them and see where they're going to go. And I like it. I like the demeanor. I like the attitude. I like the culture around here. And I think we got a good group. I really do. And I love our coaches. And I know the staff and the support staff we have around them. I know they're all going to do everything possible for us to be successful. And that's all we can do.
Do you feel like that hunger that this team has anything to do with how the Rose Bowl went in January?
No. I think it's just a perception of the culture here and the expectations here. I don't motivate ourselves off of that, and I don't think our players do. I mean, they want to win, but I mean, that's over with. This is a new group of guys trying to make their own way, trying to create their own identity. And this team's got a 1-year life expectancy, and I think they want to make it special. And I think they want to make it special for the seniors and the upperclassmen that are involved in it.
I think the players that put that game out of their mind and that it's
Yeah.
your memories and move on.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's ball. It's just like a game. If you win 59-0, what's that get you the next game? Nothing. You just got to go play.
This is the first home opener in a while, where you're starting the season here at home. Any more comfort in just being home, not having to travel on the road?
Yeah, I think there is. And I think it's good to be here. I think our kids look forward here. And I think just the fan base. I mean, it's great to open up in Doak Campbell. And hopefully the comfort level will allow them to play well.
Any of the young defensive tackles emerged?
Yeah, at Christmas. Of course, Derek Mitchell's in that group. I got Noddy and now up there. But at Christmas, I'm telling you, Fred Jones has done a nice job. Fred Jones has come on very well. And Arthur had that concussion. He's coming back. He'll get back in the mix. You know what I mean? He's playing. So I think that group of young guys is coming on playing well, getting better and better. And then, of course, when you go 3-4 things, Ricky learns in the end, but he can play as a big body in there, and so can Giorgio. Giorgio's another guy that's been playing extremely well here lately. And I've been very pleased. I mean, you put that size, now you're talking about 6'6", 6'7", guys, 290 pounds, can create a lot of space and havoc in there. I've been very pleased with his performance lately.
When do you think you might get Featherston back?
I'm hoping, hopefully next week or two. Couple, you know what I mean? Because I say that he was one of our top defensive players when he got injured, and was really emerging, standing up and bringing pressure and getting down. I mean, doing the multiplicity of things he was doing, and being physical. I mean, he can change some things on the edge. Been very pleased. So hopefully, in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 at the most, maybe.
What had allowed him to start bringing that pressure? Is it he picked up some more pass rush moves, or what?
I think knowledge, just confidence, being here, being older, knowing, hey, I can do this, working out in the off season, going through a spring ball, all of those things, and having success. You know what I mean? And I think the things we're doing with him right now and how we're playing him, I think is very conducive to his talent level.
Is there, George Campbell's been in blue for a while.
He should be released fully because he had a concussion, and we went for a few days. He could get all the reps but no contact, but he should be full go Monday or today. Excuse me.
He had such a strong spring. Has he been able to continue?
Yeah, he's had a good solid fall camp. I mean, not as strong because he missed the time, but still he's doing some really nice things. He'll be a really good player. And I'm telling you the thing about him, hard worker and a tough son of a gun. I mean, physical, really is.
Coach, I know we've asked you this before about day or night games, your preference. What do you think your players like? Do you think they prefer to wait all day and play 8 o'clock at night? Or
I think they like the lights. Once they get over the weight. I mean, they want to play, but I think once they get over the weight, I think they like the night. But if you ask them, probably 50-50. And whatever, it's just like parents. If you what you think your kids would like, and you get them, no, they want something else. No, but I think they like the night games because I think they're very special here at Doak Campbell.
Does your preference change at all? Or you...
No, I mean, I hate early games, but then you hate night games. I mean, I've learned to say, I used to hate early games, and then I used to hate light night games. But then I hate, something, just take it where it is, don't worry about it and go play.
Do you feel good about the kick return game going into?
Yeah, I do. That has looked extremely well in our preseason camps. I've been very pleased with that. And I'm anxious to see it, in the games, and hopefully don't have to see it a lot. Maybe punt returns. That's when I want to see it a lot. But otherwise, but we have worked extremely hard. And I think we got better body types in certain positions that allow us to do a better job blocking.
Was Coach Graham a little different with his approach with that this year compared to last? Maybe being more comfortable in that role?
No, I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it just had to do with, I don't say lack, but just certain body types at certain positions. How you got to do things. Sometimes you just don't have it.
I'm interested in Whitfield, how he's come along.
Well, I've been pleased. Kermit's had a great camp. He's really turned himself into a heck of a receiver, inside or outside. And that sucker can run. And he gets the ball in his hand, whether it's short, but he can run. He's really turned into a really good route runner. So very pleased with him right now.
How much do you expect Reddy to contribute in your winner?
Who's that? Oh, he's going to start and play. Yeah.
One more
Hey,
question.
Jim, were you able to move any walk-ons to scholarship this year, or was that?
We moved a couple guys, but I'll give you a list of those later. We went up 2 guys that very well deserved. We had some down, and they've done a great job academically, but done a great job on the field too.
We good? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.